rwose kubaho kwanje mu buzima bwanjye nta mugabo nigeze.
People often ask me about love and relationships and how I managed to reach this age without a boyfriend or a lover. Well, my story is a bit different.
Rwose nari yego kuba wese ni kube ubundi ndisuki. Ariko rero muri icyo gihe narabitekerezaga nkasanga ntajya kwishingira.
In the depth of profound solitude and overwhelming loneliness emerges an old woman whose life is steeped with misery, agony, and unfathomable pain.
Yewe nitwa Terezia Nyirakajumba.
Untouched by intimacy and covered in wrinkles, Terezia has never seen the nakedness of a man, and for 122 years she lives on with the unfulfilled desire, a defiant hope, and a courageous spirit of waiting that one day a man will emerge and embrace her soul.
Ubusanzwe uyu mukecuru twe twakuza ababyeyi bacu batubwira yuko ari umumama w'isugi atigeze abana n'umugabo.
Oh yeah, you heard me right. This woman here is 123 years old, and yes, she had never spent a night with the company of a man.
Cyokora kuri ubu ngubu mbega nanjye mwantera inkunga ako kagabo mukakambonera.
For years, she has patiently prepared herself for the profound connection with the man, hoping that one day she could fill the void in her heart. But despite her best efforts, fate has dealt her a cruel hand, leaving her without the love she has longed for and burdening her spirit with disappointment. Why is this woman still a virgin, and why is she still waiting for her soulmate? This is her incredible story. It's hard to believe, but on the first day of the last century, Terezi was born, and today she might be the oldest person alive. In a record held by Maria Brantas Morella, a Spanish woman who was born in 1907 and is now 116 years old as of May 2023. But despite her rare longevity, Terezia is not a happy woman, as she has never been satisfied by a man, a desire which she still craves for. In all my life, I never had a husband. I'm 123 years old. It's true that I'm a virgin at my age. If I had had a husband, maybe I would have some children, but I don't have any. It all started when Terezi was a young girl. Back in the days when she was young, girls were not allowed to associate with boys in their culture, and it was a taboo for a woman to be found together with a man. Terezia followed this principle of the time, but on a personal level, she actually never developed any feelings for a man and preferred to live alone despite her best efforts of her parents and friends who requested her to accept men and marry. I didn't want to engage with men. I had a strong fear for men, and that prevented me from any potential relationship throughout my youth. I would see men coming to my hometown, but I never developed love for someone. In her time when she was young, men used to propose to the parents of women, who would then inform their daughters to get married to a chosen man. When men proposed to her parents, she always turned down the proposals, waiting for the time she would feel ready for it. In our time, we would spend a long time weaving and doing other feminine works at home. We had to sit inside our parents' houses and help our mothers to do some domestic work while learning from them about how to treat a man well. After some time, men would show up and propose to our parents, who would then tell us about the pending marriage, and we read it ourselves. But in my case, I turned down many proposals because I didn't feel like I wanted to marry back then. Some of my friends were proposed by men and they were married. But for me, I never felt ready for that, and that's why I chose to wait until I was ready for it. At last, Terezi came to feel a growing need inside her to find someone to marry, but the ship had already sailed at her advanced age by that time, making it hard to attract young men. There was a time I started to develop some feelings for men, and I wished to have someone to spend my time with. By the time I developed such feelings, I was no longer a young woman who attracts men. I was old, and that played a role to restrict men from approaching me. At 123 years old, you might think that Terezi has given up on her quest to find her soulmate, but that is far from the truth as the hunt for a man continues. Even up to now, Terezi is still hopeful to find her man, and she has refused to give up her hope. Of course, if I can find someone who is interested in me, I will not hesitate, because there's no woman who dislikes a caring man to comfort and care about her. If a man shows up, I would be ready to entertain the options. I know that my age is a big hindrance in my search for a man, but I have refused to give up until I find a good man who is willing to spend his time with me. Today, Terezi lives a poor life alone in this very old house, which is almost ready to collapse anytime soon. Inside her house, she doesn't have anything valuable, as you can see. She sleeps on the small sack on the mat, and she cooks in those old dishes. She struggles to put food on the table as someone who is old, poor and alone. She wishes people to help with food and a house which is strong, as she fears that any time this house might collapse above her. You can see my situation. I no longer have the capabilities to work since I'm too old and weak. I have worked for some money in the past, but I no longer have anything. Thus, I struggle to survive. Sometimes, I spend days without eating, and whenever it rains, I fear for my life since this house of mine is old enough to collapse anytime. I'm no longer able to work, and I don't have the fields or farms to cultivate, and that's why I struggle to survive. I would like people to help me with food, and I would like my house to be repaired since it's too old. You can help Terezi through givinglife.com with links found in description and pinned in top comments.
Bampereza icyo kwiyorosa, bampereza icyo kwisasira, nubwo bufasha nakwaka. Bampereze icyo kurya. Byahera n'ubu ngubu se kureba muri minsi inzara yarigiye kumpitana.
With every passing day, Terezi's hope to see another day fades, but her brave spirit to see the next morning, even in the absence of companionship, reveals her remarkable strength and her sheer determination. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah, and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.